Change is crazy. Yeah. Change is crazy. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Stationery Muse channel. Today I wanted to bring you guys into the craft room with me, and I'm going to be showing you how to create a DIY photo foil card. And I love this idea because this is actually something similar to what I did for my save the dates for my wedding. And I had every intention of getting my Mother's Day cards from Target this year, and I went there and I was like, oh, this card is $7. Oh, this card is $6.99. Okay, so I decided, I was like, well, I kind of want to do something a little bit more sentimental and something that I made myself. And so I came back home and went to the drawing board. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to create some stuff. I did get a little bit of inspiration though for some of the stuff I'm going to create today. So I'll try to insert some of those inspiration clips within this video. But we're going to go ahead and make them here ourselves. And what's nice about these cards is you can use them for any occasion. So it doesn't have to just be Mother's Day. Of course, you could do it for birthdays, any holiday. Father's Day is coming up really soon, so it might be something nice to do for that. Like I said, we used it for our wedding, for our save the dates. There's tons of things you could do with this. You could do this for a lot. So it's really quick to do once you kind of get the concept of everything. So I'm going to show you guys the supplies and everything you need. First off, you need something for your card. So I would say either some type of cardstock. That's what I'm going to be using, just your standard piece of cardstock. And then some craft stores also sell these pre-folded cards. Like I know for sure Hobby Lobby and Michael's have these, and they sell them in maybe like a pack of 12 or 24, and they come with envelopes, which is really, really nice. So something like this would be nice. And in this situation, when I'm showing how to do this, you would just make sure that you would just measure the front of your card, whatever size it might be. You might get a bigger one. This is an A2 size, I believe. So it's like 4.25 by 5.5 inches, I believe. But this would be nice to do it with as well if you already have some of these. I know a lot of crafters may just have picked some of these up and you already have them, but cardstock is what I'm going to be using, and I'm going to give you the exact measurements for how I'm doing mine, because I'm going to be doing a square card for mine. And then the other things that you will need, I would say some kind of double-sided tape, and I'll go in more detail with what we're using everything for, but the double-sided tape, or at least one of these little tape runners. I know Tombow is a really big one. I actually have a better one around here somewhere and I cannot find it, so I'm going to just use this stuff. But you can get, these are really cheap. These don't have the best when it comes to sticking unless you get the permanent ones. Just make sure that you're getting a permanent one so that it's not coming right off, because sometimes these will come off if you don't have it adhered properly. So yeah, some kind of double-sided something or other. Some envelopes to play around with. We'll talk more about that. I would say some kind of pretty pattern paper. This is actually from an old Planner Society kit box, and it just kind of gives it a nice little lining and just makes it look a little prettier than just your traditional card. And this is actually the envelopes I'm going to be using. These are from Paper Source, which is one of my favorite stationery stores ever. I love getting my envelopes from there. This is another one from them as well. But I also find really beautiful envelopes on Amazon. Like this copper one I used for one of the past Live, Love, Inspire boxes. This was from Amazon, you guys. And look how beautiful this is. It's gorgeous. And then the last piece of the puzzle that we need, well, a couple things. You do need your vellum. We're going to be printing on this. You will need to have a laser printer in order to do this, but you can always go get something printed at like Office Max or Office Depot if you don't have a laser printer. So don't feel like that has to stop you. You could just get that portion of this project printed at one of those stores. So you also need some kind of foil. This is actually just, I think this is a Heidi Swapp one. I'm starting to find that they're not really selling them a lot in the craft stores anymore. I don't know what that's about. Let me know if you guys have had issues finding foil in the craft store, but I always just order mine on Amazon nowadays, and it's always on there for me. So you can get this in any color. I have a couple colors laying around me, but I'm going to be using rose gold today. And then the other thing is a bone folder or something to kind of fold your card if you don't have a pre-folded card. I'm going to just use this little Cricut, what is this called? I don't even know what this thing is called. If you have something with kind of a flat edge, that's really all that you need. A bone folder is a little bit heavier, and again, I don't know where mine is. This just is giving me reasons of why I need to clean the heck up in here so I can find my stuff. And then if you want to make your card a little bit fancier, you can get like a little corner rounder. And this is actually from Paper Studio. So this is from Hobby Lobby. And these, I use this all the time. This was probably like $5 or $6, and I use this all the time. So This might be something you may want to invest in, especially if you want to make cards and just do different craft things, especially with like planner stuff as well. You will find that a corner rounder will be your best friend. So that's basically what we're going to be needing. If there's other stuff that I didn't cover, I'll cover it as we're making everything. So let's go ahead and get into it. Get all your supplies and let's make some cards. Okay, so we are on my computer now. I wanted to just show you guys really quickly how I create this file. I just wanted to show you Emery too. Some people said they wanted to see her, so you guys can see her in picture form, I guess, for this video. So we're going to go ahead and just get started. So you can actually do this with a lot of different programs. You could do this with PicMonkey. You could do this with Canva. Today I'm going to be doing it with Illustrator. And let me know if you guys want me to show you some tutorials on how to use these different programs to do simple different things, because I can show you how to do that as well. One thing I would recommend when you're getting started is to get your photos and everything together that you're going to be using for this. I'm actually going to show you guys, for the sake of not taking a long time for this video, I'm going to show you how to do it just with a basic image that I downloaded off of Creative Market. But I'm also just telling you, you can do kind of like a photo collage, and this is how I have the one created for my mom. So basically when you create the file, you have two different files you need to create. You'll have one that is for your vellum. So this is this one. This is just what's going to be the overlay over the top of everything. And then you have your actual card stock that you'll be printing. So this is going to be my mom's card, for example. And just imagine that when this is done, this would be the foiled right here that I just laid over there. And then let's just say I put an opacity on this for a second, just so you guys can see how this card comes together. Okay, so just act like that's the vellum, and then this would be foiled, this text. So that's basically what's happening. You want to make sure you have your measurements for your card. I'm doing a square card, and mine happens to be 5 by 5. So that's what I'm doing my card size as, and it ends up being 5.5 by, or I'm sorry, I said 5 by 5, 5.5 by 5.5. So the card size ends up being 5.5 by 11. So 11 being the longer end. So when you fold it, you still have that perfect square. So that's where I came up with the sizing for this, but any card you use would be different. You would have to measure it out just to see. And again, if you use those pre-folded cards, you really only would need to do the front of the card, where you could just create just a file for just the front. You wouldn't need this back portion unless you wanted to add this "made with love" or something like that printed. I have this red line here just for the sake of designing, so I know where my middle of my card is. And so we're going to create the one for my friends, and I'll show you guys how quick it is. So I'm just going to copy and paste over on another artboard. You can do this in Canva as well. It would just be creating another, I believe, just board that you're working on. And so in here, we're going to remove this text. And I'm going to do a whole new text box here. And this one is just going to say, I actually have my files that I'm planning on what I want to say. This is what I have here. So this one's just going to say, "You are my momspiration." And I actually saw this at Target. It was a card that said that on there. I told you guys I definitely had some inspiration from Target. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to create that, but I don't want to pay freaking $8. So that's where we got this idea from. And I'm actually going to create the word mom first. So I'm just going to play around and ignore my spacing. I have some weird spacing on right now. Okay, so I want mom to be the highlight of this card. Oops. So we're going to do that first. And then what I want to do is, this one's going to be kind of fun and different. So I'm going to make another artboard here. The only thing for the vellum is just going to be the mom. I'm going to first make it over here, and you guys will see why in a second, because I want it to line up properly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is create another text box. And there's so many different fonts you can use. I download a ton off of Creative Market. That's where I get a lot of mine from. I think for this particular card, though, I would like to use, I have a font, it's called Kaylee. It's really pretty. So I'm going to use that one. So you are, that'll go above it. And this card is going to be really cute. Oh, I'm just so excited. Okay, so this card will be like that. So it'll be "You are," actually it'll say "You are my," and then we'll make sure that is over the top of that. And then the bottom is going to be, so it's momspiration. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this entire thing and I'm going to copy and paste it, so then that way everything stays lined up with one another. And then I'm just going to delete the word mom, and then I'm going to add my made with love just for you to the back, because this is going to be the cardstock portion of it. And this, like I said, this is the vellum, this is the cardstock. So I'm going to add in that image that I showed you guys. I have an image that I'm going to be using from Creative Market. So I'm going to put that in there. And that's going to be the background of this. So we're just going to send this to the back really quick. And then this is what's going to be printing. And I might actually change the color of this. I don't like black that much. I like to go with maybe like a charcoal. Now for your foil, you have to make sure it's black. This whole thing here is going to be all foiled. So I want anything that you want to be in foil needs to be in black, if that makes sense, if I'm saying that right. So then when this is done, basically we'll have our vellum over here, and it'll say mom and rose gold on top, and then it'll say you are my inspiration, or momspiration. And I'm giving these to moms that I've known that really gave me a lot of advice and encouragement when I was just getting into being a new mom and all that stuff. So that's what that's for. So this is just to show you guys the setup on the computer. So now we're going to make the actual card. Okay, so now we are going to get everything together. I just wanted to come and show you guys what it looks like after everything printed out. I had to fit to page because it was a little bit bigger and I couldn't figure out exactly how to get the bleed to work on this printer. I'm still playing around with this thing because it's still kind of new. So I did fit to page, but I did create these little lines for myself within the program, so then that way I kind of have a guide of where I'm going to be cutting, at least just so I can get a feel for it. But again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's a handmade card, and it's just more so the sentimental thing that counts. But like I showed you guys, this is going to be the one for my mom, and it'll just go over there and it'll be foiled. I have my foil machine heating, well, my laminator heating up right now. And then this is the one that's going to be for my friend. So this is how that works. And I'm going to be foiling these. And I'm going to actually speed the rest of this up, and then I'll just show you guys the end result. But I just wanted to show you guys that really quick. Other tips I do have, like I said, if you don't have a, because you do need a laser printer for this portion of it. If you don't have a laser printer, just get it printed at Office Max or Office Depot or something like that, and you'll have the same job done. And then also, you know, just make sure you have your sizing and everything together so that everything lines up and fits just right. And a little tip I wanted to give, if you're working with these cardstock cards, and one thing, what I would have done is probably just ran this through my machine, but I wanted to show you guys how you can just do this as easy as possible with the least amount of equipment as possible. And so I went ahead and just did it by hand with my paper cutter. But a lot of times when you do that, especially as the blade gets dull on these, if you can see, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but it's like these little fuzzy things on there that you get from cutting. And so one of the things that I do sometimes when I'm doing these cards is I just take some scissors and I just run them along the edge, and it helps to clean up those fuzzies. And so as you guys can see, this is one of the collage ones that I made. But yeah, again, you can definitely do this with the machine. You would just do a print then cut type of situation, and you would just load up your full image that you would just save it as, instead of printing it straight from the program you're doing it in, you would save it as a JPEG, high resolution JPEG, bring it into your Cricut software or your Silhouette software, upload it as a print then cut image, and then you would do it that way. Okay, so now I'm just going to add this on there. And then I've been cutting on the sides just so it doesn't cover up the made just for you, but you could really leave it. I think I might just leave hers. You really don't have to add any double-sided tape if you absolutely don't have any. I would recommend a little bit though, So I'm going to leave hers, but I am going to still add some to it and let that lay over the tape. So these are the cards, and I love them so much. They turned out so cute. And then I'm just going to be pairing them with these little envelopes that I got from Paper Source. They're just a really pretty square. And I think I am going to put a liner in them, so I'll make sure I insert an image of how it looks after everything is done. But what's nice about Paper Source, and I actually have seen that Hobby Lobby also carries a card line as well where you can do this. So look out for envelope liner templates. These are the ones from Paper Source. And I can actually pull out the template for the liner. So this is for this particular size card. I can cut this. You could do this with, if you have like an X-Acto knife or even some scissors, just kind of, you know, put it with like a paper clip or something in place, cut around it, and then you have a really nice envelope liner. So when they open it up, it's like, ooh. So that's just another little feature you can do, and you can do it with anything. There's tons of types of papers and stuff that you could do it with to make it really pretty. But that is pretty much it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this little tutorial on how you can make some very cute personalized DIY cards, and I hope that you learned a little something from it. If you like videos like these, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you guys have not subscribed, definitely do. I'll be making more videos like this every Thursday, so leave all of your comments down below. Let me know what you thought about this card, and if you've ever created anything similar to this, or this kind of sparked you to create something yourself. I would love to hear about it, and I would love to see it.